all over the world for, you know, the armies of the underworld to come forth through, or fallen angels, the dark ones, whatever you want to call them.
The triumph arch of the ancient Temple of Bel in Palmyra, blown up by ISIS, now recreated and unveiled on London's Trafalgar Square.
The triumphal arch of Palmyra.
London Mayor Boris Johnson called this effort defiance against terrorism.
This stood for 2,000 years, and then along came the so-called Daesh Islamic State, and it's a measure of our disregard for them and our determination to use technology to redress what they've done.
Palmyra was one of the most well-known and most visited ancient sites in Syria until ISIS overran the area in 2015. But before the extremists could reach the town, Syria's Antiquities Minister, Mamoun Abdul Karim, led a covert operation to evacuate many of the ancient statues, frescoes, and other items. He was on hand as the reproduced arch was revealed.
This ark is an act of symbol. It's something symbol for us of the solidarity from the London, from the England.
The effort to recreate the Triumph Arch was spearheaded by the Institute for Digital Archaeology, using 3D printing technology to make it look and feel almost like the original.
I was standing on the square with a couple of folks from Syria who knew the Palmyra site very well, and as soon as that keystone went into place, they put their hands to their hearts and they gasped.
Those behind this project say they believe that this technology could also be used to recreate other ancient artifacts destroyed by terror groups like ISIS. There's also critics who say that no matter how good the replica is, it can never replace an original. The replica will not be placed at the historic site. Instead, it will be displayed at a traffic circle where ISIS beheaded the custodian of Palmyra's museum, Khalid al-Assad.
This ark, it's new technology. It's not, cannot be replaced the ancient, absolutely. The ancient ark will be restored.
Whatever's coming through them isn't going to be good, but there's a lot of the stuff that's coming together, and I just believe that we need to be really, really paying attention very closely as to what is going on and look into all aspects of all things in order to see what the enemy is up to.
A 60-minute window on the primary target. You have multiple cell units moving on your position. Do not jeopardize the mission now.
How Palmyra looked as ISIL took control the Triumphal Arch before the group destroyed it. Today, the 2,000-year-old arch from the Temple of Bel looks like this. A group of Italian architects are reconstructing the arch using 3D robotic printers to bring the historic ruins back to life.
We sometimes think about if we were in the positions of the Syrian people, and we would like to have our monuments as Italians also that are very important for us, this kind of monuments and the relation that we have with our place.
When the reconstruction is finished later this month, it'll go on display in London's Trafalgar Square and then New York's Times Square, before being taken to its final destination, the ancient city of Palmyra.
So the curious topic of the Hoover Dam is one that I've been wanting to come back and examine from a enclosed cosmological perspective for a while now. To me, it's just one more example of something that's been floating around out there in the conspiracy soup that, again, it seems to make a lot more sense if considered from a perspective where the stars aren't something that exists millions of light years away in outer space, but instead involve the spiritual realms, which somehow envelop the ceiling above our heads in this enclosed world. I'd actually never heard about any of the odd edifices and symbolism to be found at the Hoover Dam until I actually happened to visit there myself about 3 years ago. And as soon as I got out of the car and saw the two giant angel statues and the star map and zodiac made out of stonework on the ground, I instantly knew it was something I was going to have to go home and look into some more. And of course, when I did, there was a lot of others who had noticed these same out-of-place monuments and symbolism. And in the past few years since, a number of other people have made videos and written articles about the many strange aspects of Hoover Dam, such as the elements of Freemasonic symbolism, the idea of there being some sort of false flag attack planned, how the destruction of the dam appears to be portrayed on one of the U.S. bills, and things like the fact that the shape of the dam is almost identical to the throne that Madonna sat on in her infamous Illuminati Super Bowl performance, or the rather curious light show that was done on the front of the dam using a German soccer team logo, which, oddly enough, featured a goat and twin towers.